Norma. All right, guys. Well,
Good morning.
everyone.
Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
Morning.
How's everyone
Happy
doing?
Monday.
Happy
Happy
Monday.
Happy Monday.
Good morning.
Happy December 1st.
December
My
1st,
God.
yes, it
We're already in
is.
December.
December 1st.
Last month of the year.
Are you guys ready
Yes,
for Christmas?
yes.
I always ready. Anything
Always
in my
ready?
house is ready.
Wow.
A lot of
This
We
is
put
my
our
birthday
decoration
month.
last
I'm
night.
always ready in
yesterday.
December.
guys, this
Well-
is good. We on the final 31
Correct.
day of the year,
Yes.
right?
31
Yes.
days. Yeah, last 30 days
Yes,
of the month.
yes.
Last 30 days.
Yes.
So let's get, let me see, admit. So welcome everyone. Welcome to Mindset Monday. This is our weekly thing that we do every single week at 8 a.m. till 9 a.m. in English and in Spanish from 9 to 10. This is a place for all of us to connect and be able to, start the week off strong. This is the whole idea behind the Mindset Mondays, for us to start the week strong and push us through. Especially now, we're pushing through the last 30 days of the month, we're in the last of the year, which is December. So I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving, and they're setting up and preparing for Christmas. I definitely was. I was setting up lights all day yesterday. So that was
It was hard.
Oh,
I was a
Magda.
mission there. I didn't
I
want to put them up,
helped
but
him. I helped.
that is the, I love my daughters and my wife, and want to make sure that they're happy. So
Yeah.
I got up on the roof and did it.
Happy wife, happy life.
Yeah. Yeah.
So definitely welcome to the Mindset Monday. We have a couple announcements before we get started. Today's a good one. Priscilla's going to be taking the lead on today's Mindset Monday. Well, before we get started, we want to remind everyone some announcements that are coming up in December. We have the Havana Night, which is in December 4th, and that's going to be a drive shaft. What time is that going to be, Priscilla? I forget right now.
Starts at 6. So it's on casino night. It's gonna be
Oh,
cigar
casino night.
It's gonna
Yeah,
be
so
fun. Drinks and food will be available for you all. So come and check us out.
So that's a great time for some networking as well. So definitely take advantage of that Havana night. Please wear your Havana shirt, or if you have one, or go get one. Then we have the La Rosa Christmas party. That's going to be December 12th. December 12th. And please register, because we are almost at capacity. I'm going to add it in the chat right now, the actual link for you to register, because we are
I just
almost
registered, so there's 3 more spots left.
so please
wow.
register.
real.
I just added the link in my agent account. So register for the Christmas party.
For real, 3 more spot, and that's it.
There's-
Oh my gosh.
yeah,
I
don't
have
forget
time to
to
find
register.
Not for
And don't
just one
forget,
for me, pero no.
and don't forget that we have to bring a unwrapped Christmas gift to the Christmas party. Don't forget
Correct.
that's your entrance to the party. Bring an unwrapped Christmas gift.
A kid.
And then the what?
It's a kid's gift.
Oh, kids, yeah, kids toy, a kid's toy. Yeah, there you go. Sorry, I had to.
Yeah, el toy.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then we have some events within the offices. On the 16th of December is going to be Premier's Christmas party or gathering at the office, and Premier with Priscilla. And then on the 18th is going to be at Lake Nona, the Christmas party. I guess you guys are having, correct, Priscilla?
Yes, we have
All right.
another party to party.
And then on the 19th is going to be Orlando's. We are going to be doing a Christmas Santa. So we're going to have Santa here at the office, and we're going to be able to take pictures with the families of the agents here in the office, the Orlando
A
office.
hot cocoa?
And a hot cocoa.
Probably,
Please.
I'm not sure yet. Just we
Please.
haven't gotten the details yet in regards to what we're doing, in regards to the hot cocoa or not. So those are pretty much the announcements. Let's not take any much more time on the announcements. Let's get right into it. And Priscilla, what do we have for today?
Well, guys, today, very special Mindset Monday. Yesterday, I sent out a message to the team. I'm like, we gotta change it up. It's the time to be grateful. This weekend, not only because we, had the opportunity to spend time with our family, and I hope everybody had a fantastic time with our family. But I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys were able to see what Joe LaRosa and family went through over the weekend. And so those pictures and videos, and for those who have not known, do not know, our CEO, Joe LaRosa, was spending some time with the family, quality time, as you guys know. Our CEO is huge on family first. So long story short, he went to rent out a cabin, kind of like to disconnect, which I do myself with my family every year. And I love it because not even phone signal. It's just, we got to talk to each other. There's nothing else to do. And such a great bonding time. I was talking to him yesterday about kind of like the process on that. Like he felt so grateful that he got, especially when you get older kids, they're so hard to get them under the same roof. It's not the same when you have the little ones. They had no option but come with you. When they get older, they had the chance to say, no, I don't. But he had the opportunity to have all his kids together. And to hear, one thing is to see what happened on that cabin, and another thing is to actually hear and how this experience affects the entire family. So again, for you guys who have not know, but in the middle of the night on Thanksgiving Day, he heard some noise on the background, and he said he's a guy who normally sleep through anything. Like, I'm the one who don't hear anything. I tend to sleep through a hurricane, and this time, I said it's God, God wake him up, and he was able to see on the side of the window, and his whole cabin was on fire. And he had
That's horrible.
very few seconds to wake everybody up and be able to get everybody out safely. And to hear his voice explaining the whole process of this, on how he was able to basically have less than 30 seconds. I mean, imagine house is on fire, all you kids and no phone, no basically sleeping wear, no shoes, no nothing. He just took off running and took all the family out. He said as he's opened the front door, basically the house basically exploded right underneath him. But again, he was able to get out safety. As he was running down the mountain, he said that he could hear the alarms of the vehicles and each of the cars blowing up one by one. And if you think about it, this house are made of wood. It's wood, 100% wood. And then their gas line underneath this property. So everything is gas. And just how grateful him and Dina and all the kids are, they were able to make it out alive. Gas timing to be able to wake him up. Somebody who, Dina said, Priscilla, I'm a light sleeper. This time, for some reason, I was out. And the one who normally is the one deep sleep was the one who wake up. But God knew who they need to wake up on time to be able to have that underneath so much stress, underneath so much pressure, to be able to make the right choice and make the right decision and be able to just run down. He said after they ran down the hill, they realized that, oh my God, I had no shoes. It's 20 degrees outside. None of the kids had a jacket or anything. And such grateful because not only, again, I got out alive, but the neighbors around welcomed him and the family into their living room to be able to give him a warm blanket until, all this stuff got situated. But the stories that reason I'm sharing this is he was obviously extremely grateful. And this is what we want to create this Mindset Monday today. It's going to be a little bit of open mic as well, is how grateful. Sometimes we take things for granted, right? Sometimes we focus too much on work or focus on, I want to look this way, I want to do this, but forget the little moments, forget the circle that really holds us together, that is family. And again, this is the value that we share with you guys as being part of La Rosa. And what a great, testimony of having not only that he survived such a tragic, it could be so tragic. I mean, he was telling me, Priscilla, I could have had lost my entire family
Wow.
in one blink of an eye, you know, in 30 seconds. 30 seconds later,
Oof.
we would have not make it. 20 seconds later, we probably would have, because as soon as I open up, you guys know when a house is on fire, at any crosswind, that's what happened when they opened the door. And that's when, you know, the house went down on flame. And if you guys go into, you don't have Joe in your Facebook, you go into, you can see the videos, how everything burned down to the ground. But again, going back to, or today's topic is being grateful for what you have, no matter where you are, being grateful for having your family, being grateful for, you know, having another day. I mean, the conversation was like, Joe, this is actually, if you guys don't know the background with Joe, on Thanksgiving Day was 1 year anniversary of him got diagnosed last year with kidney cancer, stage 4. And he went on Thanksgiving Day and had a surgery to be able to remove that. And it was a 7 to 8 hour surgery. And I remember Norma and I, we keep texting Dina, driving her crazy all day. And Norma was like, "Did you eat?" I'm like, "No." "Yeah, you eat them." No, we were so nervous because it was such a huge surgery, and he made it alive, and they were able to take out all that cancer, and he was cancer free. So him surviving that, and this Thanksgiving was a special day because he was celebrating life, and then got him into another layer of celebrating God, so celebrating life, or celebrating why, you know, it's definitely a big purpose for him and his family to be here today. Caesar, you have your hand
No,
up.
I mean, when I was looking at it, I was like, wow, that was insane. That was very intense to deal with something like that, and being able to like, and thinking about it, you're like, wow, that you could have lost your whole entire family. That is definitely grounds you, definitely changes your perspective on things. Because that's the thing about this, is that when we show that gratitude, when we're able to show gratitude, pretty much, and understand that, you know, there's a gift that we have here. There's a privilege that we're here on this earth. You know what I mean? It shifts your perspective a little bit. And I'm pretty sure his perspective has shifted quite a bit. You know, now that this happened, because of course his perspective shifted a year ago when he was diagnosed with that, and that completely changes the perspective in regards to how you look at life. It also allows, even though it's a bad situation, but it also strengthens your community. What is your community? Your family, the people around you, because of the fact that you really kind of start changing your priorities in regards to, you know, what are the things that are most important to you. And it always ends up like, it goes back to your family, it goes back to your kids, your parents, everybody that's closest to you. So that's why it's so important to be able to show gratitude. That way we can, you know, strengthen that community, which are that bond that we have with our family, the people that are most closest to us, and allows us to shift the perspective. And at the same time, something else that we can talk about as well, it allows us to
You're on mute.
Te mutes. You're mute.
You are on mute.
completely the whole time.
No. Just,
No.
Oh,
I
okay.
muted somebody and I clicked mute by mistake. I'm sorry.
Okay, so the part about it is it also helps build our faith as well. Because the whole thing about the faith is remembering where they took us from, where we were saved, where are the things that happened that allowed us to be where we're at today. So that's the huge part, because sometimes I feel that we fail at remembering. We will focus on the bad, we focus on the situation, but we have to remember that God took us out of a place, or maybe a bad place in your life, or whatever the case is, and that allows us to build that faith, to continue building that faith, because he remembers what, you know. Of course, in the moment, everybody's going crazy because, of course, you want to make sure that everything is good, you know. But once everything settles, the dust settles, you know. This is something that helps continue build his faith. Of course, it's not something we want to go through to help build the faith, you know,
Right.
but these are situations that happen. One thing that I like to say a lot, that, you know, for me, my experience, based on what you mentioned, Priscilla, that I've been going through is this past year or so, it's pretty much kind of understanding that the only truth that we do actually have, the only truth that we have is the one, it's right now. The one that right now I'm here speaking with everybody right now, that the whole panel is here. The whole, how many people we have on here? I don't know how many people we have all together here. but-
27.
7.
so all these people, that is the true thing that we are right now. That this is our truth right now. Because of course the past is gone. The past is gone, and the future is completely unknown. We don't know what's gonna happen at 9 o'clock. We don't know what's gonna happen 2 minutes or 3 minutes from now. So
Right.
this is the only truth that we have right now. And then it is so important for us to actually live in the present, live right now, live in the moment. And sometimes it's a hard thing for us to do that because we're always thinking about the future. We're focused on the past, and it's messing us all up emotionally. So it's something that we have to really try to truly live in our truth, which is right in front of us right now as we're talking.
That is correct, Cesar. And you know, like you say, we don't want anybody to go to a dead or alive situation to realize that what's the most important for you. And you know, what a weekend once we find out to really sit down and reflect. And be able to I even went back to my vision board and I kind of rearranged things on my vision board, and I was like, well done. Let's put God first. That's the bigger sign that I could find. And I put in each of my kids' vision board. We do an event every year. But I feel like you will learn from somebody else's experience, so you don't have to go through it. So that's cute. Cheryl. And then we had Natalie.
With that experience, just remind me that sometimes I'm gonna talk about me, complain about things. Like, for example, I had my kids the whole week and they were driving me crazy. And I need to be honest, okay? And we decided to go out so we can just, stress in a different place instead of home. And when I was going out, I think sometimes God talks to me in a crazy way, because when I was in that mindset of complaining, oh my God, these kids are driving me crazy, just 3 kids just coming next to me with different condition. And I thought for me, that was a way to God tell me, stop complaining, being grateful that your kids are healthy kids and they're good. And from that moment, it switched my mindset. I started saying, thank you, God. Thank you for my kids. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to having kids as well.
That's a lot of family who don't have that privilege. Yeah.
So
Many.
in that moment for me, it was like God's talking to me, saying, stop complaining and start seeing things differently and be grateful for what you have. And wow, guys, it's so incredible how the day change when your mindset change. I was able to actually have fun with my kids just because I was looking life in a different way. Just seeing that I was actually having a privilege to have my kids.
That's amazing, Cheryl. And I think we all go through it. I remember when my kids were your kids' age, I have my grandmother next door. I will knock the door. I'm like, please. But it's
You're lucky, Priscilla.
Go through moment. Natalie, you have your hand up.
Lucky you, Priscilla. Lucky
Yeah,
you.
lucky you.
Let me lower my hand. So for me, so we started in my house and in my team when I had a real estate team, looking for things to be grateful for. And some people have a hard time finding things to be grateful for, and especially at the beginning of their career, because I'm struggling. I have to do Uber at the same time that I'm trying to get my real estate business started, and I have debt, and it's just a lot going on in their life. So sometimes you're kind of in surviving mode, and you have a hard time finding ways to be thankful. And another thing is, I have a teenager that has like very low kind of serotonin, some kind of mental imbalance in her brain where she has a tendency to be depressed. And so for her, it's sometimes hard to find, okay, I'm thankful for my family. I'm thankful for my friends. And she is thankful, but like she feels this dread anyway. And so what we found in my team, for the people that were struggling, and my daughter struggling with her mental health, like she's in medication right now, so she's so much better. But but like we found that not just being thankful wasn't enough for like, because it gets superficial sometimes, and not everybody has this life-changing experience where your house burns down and then you have a wake-up call. We found that if we are thankful for our family, we're gonna go 3 layers down and be like, why am I thankful for my family? Like, I'm thankful for my sister, but why? Because my sister is funny and she makes me laugh every day, and she makes me forget about all the pressure I have for school. And so like we found 3 reasons why we were thankful for that one particular thing, and that works so much better for us in our diaries, because we have like we kept like a thankful journal for me and my team and my kids. And so I thought I'll share, because that really helped our mindset, because if you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. So
That's awesome.
Thank you for
Yes.
sharing that. And that's a very personal touch, but I think it identified with, a lot of people on the call. And that's what we do in this today, is because sometimes, the face that you see, especially in social media, is very different from what it is behind the scene. We all have days, we all have situations, and
Yes.
it's good to share, because you don't know who you're helping. I know Joe said, I wasn't sure if I wanted to share this because he's trying to be more personal and more private with his life, but he's like, I might be able to change somebody's life. And
Yeah.
I'm like, you definitely be able to change many people's life. And I asked him if I could share this today here. So that's why I'm sharing, because sharing is caring,
yeah,
So
I agree. And I think that sometimes I don't share enough. I like I'm more reserved, or more like in a small setting type of sharing, but being brave is important too.
yeah, that's true. Thank you for sharing that. Norma, then we have Magda and Wanda.
Hi. I don't have any excuse to be grateful. As soon as I wake up, I'm grateful because I wake up, because I have a new day, because my house who sheltered me, because everything, a good and a bad, I have nobody knows, but my son is bipolar. Sometimes he have, I have to go through his things. And I'm grateful for my son, because he's the most caring and sweet boy in the world. Everything that happened in your life is a lesson for you to grow up, for you to have more patience, for you to, God never give you something that you cannot, handle. I go through my divorce. Nobody knew, because that happened. It's happened for a reason. And now I'm much better than before. I try to go through these 3, like Cheryl, 3 rules in my life. Not judge, no judgment, no judge, no criticize other, and no complain. Because when you complain, everything is bigger. I never complain anything. I try to not complain. Yes. If you try for a week, you will know that the life will change it. But it's very hard, because we tend to complain for everything. The turkey come out good. Oh my, whatever. But try to not complain, don't judge, and don't criticize for at least a week, and you will see your life will change.
That's
Going to a more positive mindset. And that's why it's a Mindset Monday, guys, to be able to find one thing that you're grateful for. And I love what Natalie said, not only why, but go deep into more details on it. I know, Magda, you have your hand. Are you still?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes. And that's right, Norma. Sometimes we tend to no focus in the good things, and we just miss the point that we want to have in life. And we have so many things for being thankful. And like Cherry were talking about, I remember when I was little, and I saw a little girl. I was maybe 5 years old or 6 years old, but I still remember that she was in a wheelchair, so she couldn't get up. She was disabled, like for her whole life. And with my kids, with my daughters, and sometimes, kids are kids. Sometimes we want to have our time. Uh, but I think when I see them that they running, that they are, being kids, I remember that, and I'm just thankful. And I say, well, I prefer for them to be running and that they're to be in a corner that they cannot get up, because I know that parents that have special kids that they cannot get up, they cannot walk, they will do anything. As a parents, I know I'll
Mhm.
give anything for my kids to be, healthy. And that's something that reminds me all the time that I gotta be grateful for the health of my kids. And sometimes, like Priscilla say, it's good to see, we don't need that in our life. If we pay attention to what is happening to others, we can be grateful and thankful and just take that as a reminder that we have a lot of things for being thankful, and we got to be grateful for what we have.
That is correct,
Amen.
my
Amen.
friend. I meant for that. And I can tell you, as a little girl, that I was born with cleft palate and lip. And I went through so many different surgery. I went through so much. Every certain years, I had to have a new surgery because my face was growing. So cleft palate and lip, when you're born with it, you're missing bones. I was missing bone on my palate. I'm missing bone on my nose. And I remember seeing the other kids running around and playing it while I was in the hospital, or I had to be home and miss school for like 2 to 3 months because I couldn't go to school because you want to get an infection. And I had to do this almost every year of my life. And it's really tough and going through it. But now as an adult, I feel like it gave me another layer of like resilience. Like I can do anything. I've been through 17 surgeries through my life. And
Ouch.
and it's nothing, it was not surgery just for make me look pretty, it was surgery for me to be able to eat, for me to be able to smell. And because I didn't have a bone in my nose, so they had to reconstruct that. And you take things for granted. And I'm like, just to go out there and be able to breathe on my own, I didn't breathe through my nose for many years, honestly, guys, until I was in my late 30s that I have another big surgery. And I couldn't imagine if you don't smell, you can taste food. So it's like it was. So I see people like, oh, this smells so good, and I'm like, I wish I could smell through my nose.
Yeah.
I couldn't because I didn't have the structure on my nose. I remember that's back in 2017 when I had one of my last big surgeries, and I put on my vision board that I want to find a doctor that could take over my case because really hard to find somebody that would take the time. And it took me 4 years, and I finally got the appointment with that doctor. And the doctor sat down with my previous doctor, even the one who did my first surgery when I was 6 months old, who retired, but he flew in to be able to sit down and plan it. It was a little traumatic, guy, because I sat down with 3 doctors and they're talking about, oh, we can cut here, we can take this part over here, we can do this and that. I'm like, oh my God, I remember I'm right here, guys. Long story short, they took they took 2 ribs, so I was double surgery. They had to take ribs to be able to reconstruct my nose, to be able to have a nose bridge because my nose was completely flattened, and that's why I couldn't breathe. And going through that was the most painful surgery of my life as an adult. But being able to have the support of my family, I'm so grateful for everybody who's there. My man, he's actually online here. He spent a couple of days with me at the hospital. I spent about 2 weeks in the hospital, and it was really rough. It was rough and tough, but it made me appreciate the sense of smell, the sense of taste, they being comfortable with myself, which is huge. I'm very comfortable with myself. This is who I am. This is what God made me to be. And today I'm helping, I have a huge follow in social media. I have a page for mother to be that coming, their child that being, already had the ultrasound and say your child's going to become with cleft palate and lips. And, the thought that goes through the mother, like, oh my God, what's the life is going to be of my child? And seeing other adults on my age group, they're going through it, depression, because we get bullied a lot. I mean, I got bullied a lot in school. So I became a rebel. Every time somebody would look at me, I would punch you on the face. I was that type of kid, but I learned now as an adult, you can just go around that. And I learned to be comfortable. I get stares until this day. And my mindset is like, they will get used to 2 more days. They will be like, whatever, this is who Priscilla is. And, learning to be grateful for all the experience, learning to be grateful for what God made me different, but it's special in my own way. And be thankful that I'm alive and being able that I went through all what I went through, and I still going through once in a while, but I'm here and I'm happy who I am. I'm different, but I'm okay with that. So
Amen.
You're beautiful, Priscilla.
we got Wanda, Miss Wanda, go ahead.
Hola, hola, hola. That's amazing. Amazing, Priscilla. Such a hard, so hard, horrible experience, that you had to go through. But you're here, like you said, and looking gorgeous. And so, but grateful. Oh my gosh. When we are going through different stuff in life, it's hard to find what you're grateful for. And that's something that I have learned. Something that it became a habit for me to write at least 10 things that I'm grateful for every day when I wake up in the morning. And I just realized that when my mind is not in the right place, it's even hard to, and I'm like, oh my gosh, why I cannot think today of something that I'm thankful for. And that's when you realize how your mind just take over. And you said, oh my gosh, I'm breathing, my lungs, I have asthma. And I said, my lungs, I'm thankful for my lungs that I can breathe. Thankful for, my bed or my covers, I feel warm today. All the little things. People think that in order for you to be grateful, big things had to happen to you, not realizing that the small, tiny little things that you have around you, those are the greatest, and the greatest things to be grateful for every day.
That's correct, Wanda. The little things adds up, and just to wake up is a win. It's definitely a win. We got Jorge, and then Cesar. You have your hand up too.
There's so many things.
Rudy.
There's so many things that we can be thankful for, but something that Collins actually wrote in the chat is this is definitely truthful. Life is a lesson. Life happens for us, not to us. And use those lessons and be thankful for those lessons. And it's true what he says. And I mean, in reality, that's where we get it from. I mean, there is always a reason why. And we should be thankful for whatever happened in the past. Like Cesar said, it's already in the past, but you learn from those lessons. And you use it to get better or to help others. Like what Priscilla said before, with whatever she went through and all the pains and hard times and whatnot, but look at what are you using it for? To help new families, to avoid. I mean, we cannot be more thankful than that, I think. And with those life experiences and those lessons, definitely, I mean, we cannot be more grateful than that and help others. And I think it is very important.
Yeah, and know that you're not alone, and you're not the only one.
Exactly.
Well, I find out that this Facebook group, there is over like 500,000 people there, and it's like this is 500,000 me in this group, and how I'm not gonna help them out, and how we can support each other. This is the big thing about a community, guys. So that's very important. I know. We had Rudy and Cesar.
Go ahead.
Rudy, go ahead.
Good morning, everyone.
Good
Good morning, Rudy.
Hey, first first time here on this
Yes,
beautiful
that's my
Zoom.
buddy.
Welcome, Rudy.
Thank you.
Hey, what
Nice
a
to see you.
what
Welcome.
thank you. What a way to start the month of December and the week. Oh my God, this is so good.
We
Yeah.
are
I'm gonna be
amazing, Rudy. You
I'm
are
gonna be
missing out a lot.
connecting. I'm gonna be connecting from now on every Monday morning at 8
Good.
a.m.
Good.
Good.
Woo. I just wanna thank you guys for everything that you're saying today. It's so important for us to not complain and everything that you have said. Thank you guys. That's all. Thank you.
Oh,
I love you.
thank you, Rudy.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rhea. That's what we're here for, to support each other and help each other out, because we know we all go through it, but we don't have to go through it alone.
No.
Caesar.
Well, I wanted to say, because I was writing notes as everybody was talking. One thing I wanted to start off with, you know, all of us, everybody here on this call has a story. And it's through those stories that we can kind of see, you know, because I see a lot of the comments that I on the YouTube and saying, oh my goodness, I didn't know this, I could have never imagined, you know, especially when you shared that story, Priscilla. You know, all of us have a story, and this is why it's so important to share, because you don't know how that's going to help or change somebody's
Yes.
perspective.
Yes.
You don't know how that's going to change that person's life. You don't know what that's going to do with that in that individual person. We don't know, out of all everybody that's on here and on YouTube, how is that affecting them in their life? You know what I mean? Because sometimes, yes, we do fall into that whole, the woman Norma was mentioning, you know, we fall into complaining, we fall into this, everything's going bad, everything's doing this, everything's doing bad. But that's things that happen. But when we share these stories and we hear it and we hear this and we hear, you know, Priscilla's story, we hear, you know, Wanda, what she mentioned, what Norma mentioned, and I have my own story as well. You know, it's just something that it allows us to remember, wow, you know, we are in, like, someone could be going through it worse than what we're doing right now. Is there really need for us to be complaining? You know, is there a reason for us to be here saying that this week is going horrible or whatever the case is? No. You know, there's something that we can always find to be grateful for. With what Natalie mentioned about going 3 layers deep, you know, that's really good. I love that, because of the fact that, you know, it allows us to sit down and actually think and look for those things that we are really truly grateful for in regards to the people that are most closest to us. Because sometimes we are so caught up with the distractions, the phones, the everything that's going on, that we don't take the time to actually sit down and kind of remember or actually think about, why am I grateful for Norma? Why am I grateful for Eric or Jorge? You know, those things allow us to get
Because I made you
grounded.
happy. I made you laugh.
Yeah.
Go ahead and answer.
So-
You make
You
me
always do,
happy, Norma.
You always do.
I love you.
Yeah.
We love you.
It allows us to get grounded, and that's a huge part about all this, to get grounded in regards to the situation, to get grounded in life, because sometimes we are so caught up in the future, or sometimes we're caught up in the past, and we forget to get grounded in the present that we have right now. We are all super grateful for things that, you know, for where we're at right now in our business. We're here on the Zoom. We're here. We're in the last month of December. We're about to hit Christmas. You know, because yes, Christmas is all about, you know, everybody's presents. But in the end, is who are the people around you? Who are the people around you? What's your community? What's your family? You know, being grateful. That's the biggest thing about when you come into the Christmas. I mean, for me, it's turned out to be that way now. As I got older, I could care less about the presents anymore. For me, is the time that I'm spending with the ones that are most closest to me, and I'm super grateful for that. And it's just something, huh?
What kind of presents? Because you can give a flan to somebody who loves sweets, or you can make a sourdough love, like my daughters do, to give it away as a thankful for what. So,
yeah.
When we think about presents, we always think about something we can buy. Yeah. Present is something we can make with our hands, with our feelings, you know?
Yep.
Like pasteles en hoja.
Cleaning up a house for older people, or
Coquito.
Hey, be careful.
For somebody else who cannot do it, you know?
Correct. Yeah. I'm glad you mentioned that, Norma, because it's not just about presents. It's about being able to give someone a little light, give them a little light at the end of the tunnel that may be going through something. Just like we've shared the stories here, sometimes that with that gratitude also involves some type of action as well, in regards to, making someone else feel someone feel better that's going through a situation. Because, I feel also that being able to be grounded in gratitude, it also protects our heart from negativity because of the fact that so much negativity out there that we have to reframe our mindset sometimes in regards to how we're thinking about things. And we have to, really make an effort, a conscious effort in the beginning sometimes when we're so accustomed to looking at it from the negative. Our brains, I mean, for me, for example, my brain is always thinking in kind of in a negative tone, and I always have to be kind of
I know, no
reframing my
me, I'm
mindset.
positive.
Reframing my
Positiva.
mindset, reframing, and that's something that it takes work. It takes work. So the only thing I want to finish off saying from my end right now is don't forget to share your story. All of us have a story to share that can impact somebody in a very positive way. Don't
And you
look
can
at it,
help
oh, I'm
somebody.
being vulnerable. No. Them telling you. That's why it's so important, the testimonies, because of the fact without those testimonies, we can't build that resilience. We can't remember, wow, look at this person and what they went through. Look at what Cheryl was sharing. I reminded me when I with my kids when we were going through the
Yeah.
situation, but look at how she brought it back and reframed it when she saw those kids that, wow, I don't have to deal with that. And my
Exactly.
kids are walking around doing, I can have fun. It completely changed her mentality. And what she said, it allowed her to actually have fun with her kids. And that's a huge part. And that's what it's all about, because she's gonna remember that. And that's why it's so important. It's so important for us to really remember everything that we've been through, where we're at today. That way, because
Exactly.
that's the best way for us to kind of get out of that mindset of everything that's going on, and take the time and share your
Wow.
story.
No, it's true. Complete a lot of truth on that. And like you said, there is always something. It is always, no matter what you're going through. You don't have to write 10, because I know one that can get a little, like stressful trying to find 10, but one thing a day, it would definitely add up to it.
Really
We
quick
have
before,
Colin has his hand up, and then
hold on.
Sharon.
I want to share really quick what they posted on the YouTube.
Donna,
Donna,
yeah.
her daughter struggles with epilepsy since she was 5 years old. Now she's 26. Think about that. That is huge right there. And I'm so happy to be with this group, because family is important, and this group here is definitely family. So thank you, Donna, for sharing.
Amen.
We'll be praying for you and making sure that can go away, basically. That the whole part. But
But
thank you
you
so
know
much, Donna,
something?
for
One
sharing.
second. Everybody mentioned, so we all mentioned family, but sometimes our family is in another country, and our best friend, our neighbors are our family, are the one who
You're
can,
right.
help us when we need, and we help them. Because family sometimes is, in another country.
It doesn't have to be blood related to be family.
Yeah, it
Uh-huh.
doesn't have to be
Yeah.
related. I mean, that's why we say community. Community.
Yeah,
What's your
yeah.
community?
Yeah.
The people that are most closest to you, the ones you
Yes.
consider the most closest to you.
Right.
Correct.
All right. So
Colleagues.
we have Colin. Go ahead.
Yeah, can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
awesome.
Clear and
Awesome.
loud.
I wanted to give y'all testimony, but and kind of exemplify what happens when you are thankful and when you express it. So this is a quick story. Caesar may know part of this because I shared this with y'all in the past, that I wasn't I couldn't swim at all before I got in the Coast Guard. And when I got into the Coast Guard, before that, I was a big time. I used to sing a lot. I used to sing opera. I used to sing in Harlem School of the Arts. I sang throughout my whole elementary career. I even went on American Idol at the time. But
You keep
going into the
surprising us,
Coast
man.
Guard, going into the Coast Guard, I had to pass this final exam. It's a swimming exam. It's about 18 laps, and it's survival swim. It's a survival swim takes on a lot more apparatuses than just your regular kicking and swimming. You have to do a whole bunch of other things with it. I only did 16 laps. I failed that test. That test was for my commission to become an officer in the Coast Guard. Upon failing that test, I sat there in front of the board, and they told me, we reviewed my package and said, go back to your room and sit there and we'll convene and see if we're gonna make you a commission, make you an officer. At that time, I had my son and I had a whole family at that time, pretty much, to the point where I was the only breadwinner. So if I didn't make this commission, I was gonna lose my whole. I was pretty much gonna be on the streets for a while. So at that point, I decided to start singing. I just started singing out loud and being thankful, singing a hymn that I learned when I was younger in church. And I was singing loud and I didn't care. Nobody was in the room. But my voice echoed back to the actual convening board. The head lieutenant of that time came back up to me toward the end of my singing. I guess he was standing out in the hallway. I didn't know. He came up to me and said, I don't know what your purpose here is on this earth, but I'm going through a bout with cancer that I'm pretty much have only a couple months to live. That song is one of the songs that have helped me get through my life and through desperate times. You may not be the best swimmer, but you are here for the Coast Guard, and we are here to welcome you in. Thank you so much for coming in. That touched me so deeply to this day. So,
Wow.
You have to remember to be thankful, because when you're thankful in the bad times, you uplift other people, and it happens every single time.
Definitely.
Thank you.
Wow.
Yes.
Sorry, Colin.
Awesome,
Thank
brother.
you, Collins,
Thank you for
for
sharing
sharing
that.
that.
Definitely
You
very.
need to sing for me, please.
Really be in the whole
Alright.
In
lot.
person. In person.
In person.
So thank you for sharing that,
Thank you,
and appreciate the opening up. And this is, again, that's the reason why we created this Mindset Monday a little bit differently. So because we all, like we said in the beginning, we all have things that we go through, and once again, why cannot we go through it together? There's each of us has the power to change other people's life, and we probably not even realize that. Myself, like, again, with anybody that coming in with the Clap Paddling Lips, that's my mission, to be able to help kids, to be able to help moms. Think about what have you going through and how can you help somebody. Like Norma, you could help people, other moms who had bipolar kids at home, and I'm like, how I can assist them, and what I've been through it, and how I being able to help my child. Cheryl, moms out there, believe me, moms group, they would really appreciate to see, hey, I'm not the only one who snap once in a while my kids and get back to it.
Like the animal support group, child support group, or mom
Yeah.
support groups.
To help others. And I know Colin does that as well, helping especially the younger generation. He always look into, the teens, like such a bright mind, and how can we help them? How can we guide them through? So each of us in this chat have something. I'm pretty sure I would love for everybody to sit down with themselves and see, hey, how can I help? What is the one thing that I had going through that I overcame and I'm super grateful for, and I can give back to the community? Cheryl, I know you have your hand up.
Yes, I just want to add that sometimes we don't get I'm going to talk directly about real estate. So sometimes people think that because this year was not what I wanted, that I didn't reach what I was hoping to reach, there's nothing to be grateful for. But no, believe me, if you look back, you learned something that you didn't learn last year. There's something that you should be grateful for the people that you met. You should be grateful for the things that you learned that you're gonna use for the next year to make it your year. And by the way, this is not the end of the year. You still have 31 days to make it your year. Okay, maybe you don't reach the goal that you have for the year, but you're gonna have 30 days to make at least your month. And sometimes people feel that because they didn't accomplish what they wanted, there's nothing to be grateful for. But yes, they are. We just need to look for it. Look for the things you learn, for the people that was there for you, for the things that you learned that you're gonna implement. And when you see things differently, it's gonna come the energy that you have. I mean, the mindset that you have, it bring those things to you. I don't know, it makes
Correct.
sense. So
Makes a lot of sense.
I want to
That's
add
right.
something to what you just said, Cheryl, because you brought it back to you I mentioned the real estate part. I did a quick research on something. I wanted to kind of, because you mentioned, oh, if I don't have the year that I hope for, then I have nothing to be grateful for. I put here, I asked the question on Google, and it told me 92% of people, 92% of people never start the actual goal that they wanted to. And I say this
Wow.
with that means that you started real estate, you got into, you went and took the class, whether you had a full-time job or not, whatever the case is. If you had a full-time job, that was even harder, and you still did the class. Whether it was at night from 5 to 10, you sacrificed that time. You sacrificed time with your family, with everything to take the class, and you passed the test that most people don't pass right away. And you were able to pass that test, the state test. And then now you're in the business. You might not have the year that you wanted, but you fall in that 8% of people that actually started, that actually put a goal down and actually started working towards that goal. So there you have something to be extremely grateful for right there, that you had the strength, you had the power, you made the time, you made the effort to actually start it, to actually write it down. No, you want something better for myself. I want a better life for me and my family. And then you started working towards that. That's one thing to be grateful right there for that. Because
Definitely.
92% of people don't even start it. They write it down, but they don't even start it. So imagine that you fall in that 8% of people that actually do something about it. They take action behind it. I wanted to, say that. I wanted to add that to that.
That's definitely a good point. I think sometimes we don't give ourselves that pat on the back for the we should give ourselves for completing just even the smallest task, because especially in this business, we don't have a kind of like a schedule unless we create one. We don't have somebody on top of us telling us what to do and what not to do. So be able to accomplish even that one closing for the year, you did it.
Exactly.
Definitely got it done. Eric, you have your hand up, and we have.
I'll be quick. I had a beautiful Thanksgiving. It's a blessing. It didn't start like that because I was like sore, angry, nobody loves me. But by the time the night ended and we just played board games and just ate and relaxed.
You was grumpy.
And I started to realize how blessed I am. But I am feeling this right now because of you guys here. I want you to know that until I joined this group here, that I was like a fish out of water at La Rosa. Please don't misunderstand, but I feel like I hope I'm right. I hope you have adopted me. Because I sure want to be part of this team.
We are thinking about that.
God bless.
We haven't decided that yet.
Thank you, Ari, for sharing. And it's good to hear that you feel like a family, because that's what we are here. We're a big family, and our family keep growing and we keep doing things together. That's why we have so many activities in the office for you guys to come and share, to support each other. This networking events, classes, and stuff that we do, it's for you guys. It's for all of us to be able to come together. So when you see the schedule coming out, don't ignore it. It's not the same to sit at home on the back of the computer. I know Zoom is super convenient, but the connection that you do, the energy coming into the offices, especially if you're around Norma, you definitely gonna
yes, totally good.
You know something? The only things we have control is in right now.
Yes,
that's it. Right
the moment.
Who think in the past, they give you,
Lessons.
The past don't give you anything. The past is already in the past. You cannot do anything about that. The future gives you anxiety because people think about what's going to do the future. No, live the present. Be present at the table. Put the freaking phone out and talk to people and ask how they doing. And whatever. Make conversation with everybody.
Amen.
In the elevator. Hi. Say hello to everybody. Be grateful for that you can walk, you can smile, you can make other people happy. I think this is my goal in life, to make people happy.
That's you falling,
because
Norma.
as soon as I get out of my house, hi, how are you? My problems in the back.
That is
I
true,
live
guys.
and be present. This is the most important.
Norma, you're
Yeah,
special.
so
We're grateful for you,
grateful
Norma.
for
Very good.
every one
We
of
are.
you.
Yeah, we are grateful for
We
you.
are grateful for you, Norma, too.
Yes, we are.
I just want to say that things change in a bit. So, and it's we just gotta be grateful. Look what happened with Joe and Dina and family, and that blow my mind that things can be different at this time.
Mhm.
And look, when we trust God, He
Amen.
always are going. He's going to cover us. So
He's
we
gonna
only
answer.
have to be thinking about Him and have faith, because things happen.
Mhm.
When we trust Him, and
Amen.
That's true.
we're
Yep.
just so happy that things happen that way.
Yeah.
I want to
Definitely.
share really quick before Priscilla wraps it up, because we can close out. So we got, because they have the 9 a.m. in Spanish. Elvira mentioned on the chat, she didn't have much growing up, but she did have lessons, and now she understands life was preparing her, but not breaking her. She realized that. That's good. Thank you so much for
Yes.
sharing,
Wow.
Elvira. So important to share. So Priscilla, close us out. Close us
Yeah.
out.
So guys, I want to again, I hope you guys had the time to reflect as we were talking today, and I hope it doesn't stop here. This is the last 31 days of the year, guys. So let's sit down with ourselves and reflect on what are you grateful for. Go deep, that Natalie say. Find you little whys. This is why we
Eat the
create that
onions.
vision board as well, because that helps you to visualize yourself, where you want to go, how you want to do it. And if you're not there yet, it's okay. Don't be so hard on yourself. Love yourself more than you love others, because that reflects.
Yes.
As soon as you
Yes.
start loving yourself and be confident, and I'm telling you, from what you guys heard my story, I'm confident who I am. I've loved myself, and therefore I surround with people just like me. And it's a great experience to be able to share and hope this is not the last time we share about being grateful, and not going. You don't have to go through a big situation, life-changing situation, in order for you to sit down and be able to reflect on that. We all have at least 1 or 2 things every morning that we can, like Norma say, get up in the morning. I'm thankful for my house. I'm thankful for my roof. I'm thankful for the food that we have.
I'm thanking for myself because I feel so beautiful and amazing.
That's extra.
Thankful
If
for
you
my
wanna get that
birthdays.
right.
All right, we got to wrap it up.
So again, guys, thank you so much for being here. We see you this Thursday, and have a good night. You go into my agent account so you guys can register. It's going to be a great time to come together, hug each other, and we'll be able to spend time together. And again, Friday for our Leadership Friday, that will be at 8 a.m. So see you guys. Thank you again for being